There we go. It says I'm live. I'm live on the 12th of September 2025 and just recording it so that we can have a nice meditation, a mindfulness meditation at the end of it. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to see the messages that come in and say hello to you. And then I'm going to get you into a nice centered space where I'm going to do a mindfulness meditation, a live one, because today is Mindfulness Meditation Day. And I've just done one myself, actually. I've just listened to a mindfulness meditation because I wanted to get in the zone for this. Because I'm in between moving houses and I'm a little bit, left brain's firing a lot. So I wanted to get in the zone for this. So I listened to a mindfulness meditation before I came on. And I'm feeling very present and very still and centered. And that's where I'm going to take you, lovely people. So I can see we've got the lovely Margaret, who's always with us. And Margaret is 81 and lives in Melbourne. And even though it's in the middle of the night, she's always on these meditations. And I'm going to meet her in about 2 or 3 weeks, which is absolutely amazing. Peter's with us. Hello, Peter. Spencer, Georgette, Megan, Sandra, Ray, Sandra. Yeah, so lovely. Thank you to everyone that's here. And I'll chat for a little bit longer because the numbers build up. And then, as I say, I will guide you into a very nice live mindfulness meditation. And it's a nice place to be when you come into the present. You come out of the mind, out of thinking about the future, stressing about the past, all of that. You just come into the now, here and now. And it's a beautiful place to be. Because, like I said, when you move house like I am, there's a lot to do. And you speak to a lot of people, you deal with a lot of things. And so it's very, can be quite taxing, on the old left brain. So mindfulness is the perfect remedy for that. And if you've got any questions, anything you'd like to ask me, feel free, just type it in the box. I can see we've got some names from the present and the past I recognise. So lovely to see you, Laurie and Dr. Prima. Dr. Prina. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm really sorry if I haven't. And Spencer. Thank you all for being here. And the numbers are going up, so let's just take it a little bit longer. And we can really get into a deep, effective mindfulness meditation, because it's such a lovely place to be when you're in that still, centered space. And it can't be underestimated, the benefits of that, because when you're out of the mind, out of the monkey mind, and you're in that relaxed Zen state, you're in a peaceful place, and your creativity sparks up afterwards. You come out of the meditation with fresh ideas, and it's like you're switching off your left brain. And when you do that in the daytime, they say it's the equivalent. 20 minutes of that is the equivalent of like 3 or 4 hours sleep. So it's so effective. And we've got Maria with us. Hello, Maria. Lovely to see you from Argentina. Wow. That's what I love about these lives. There's people from all parts of the globe. We've got Margaret in Melbourne, Australia. Maria from Argentina. You lovely people in the US. And Ray is saying, what is your favorite way to practice mindfulness? So the meditation I've just done is a really nice way, because I'm listening to a meditation that takes me down there, and I really went deep. I think because I've been so busy and I've had so much going on, I needed it. So as soon as I kind of let go and I started to go down into that altered state, I kind of switched off really quickly and went into this lovely blissful state. And at one point I kind of came up a little bit, and I thought, I hope I haven't been here too long. I thought I've got a live meditation to do. I was just worried that I'd been there too long, because you lose track of time. And so yeah, I love that. That's a really nice way just to put on a meditation and go down there into that space. And other times, if I'm just, in the garden or I'm walking, I bring my focus into the very present, into the here and now. So I'm looking at the trees as I walk past, and I notice the shapes of the leaves. So if you start to notice detail in things, then it brings you into the present. You just get very mindful when you do those kind of things. Even now, sitting in my office, I'm looking at the speakers and all the things around me, and just noticing, the way they're built and the detail in them. It brings me into a very mindful state. So just in the very moment, if you just be in the very present, it kind of anchors you in that state, and it's a lovely place to be. So we've got a few more coming on. I can see we've got Karen from Scotland and Marion also from Scotland. So lovely to see you both. And Sandra from Soane, I'm not sure where that is, or is that Spain? Maybe it's a typo and it's Spain. And Kirk Grom from Cincinnati. Yeah, Spain. Sandra's from Spain, and Kathy from Colorado, Jan from Norway, and Iggy's from America. So we're really covering all parts of the globe here, which is wonderful. And so I think now the numbers are good. Would you guys like to go into a lovely mindfulness meditation? So what to do if you just get yourself into a comfortable state. And what we're going to do with this meditation, once it's complete, we will take it from this webinar and we will upload it to my app, Ultimate Hypnosis. And just so you know, we're doing a 20% discount in Ultimate Hypnosis for Mindfulness Day. So this is the point of this live meditation. So you can scan or download it there on the QR code. And so this live meditation and webinar will be uploaded to Ultimate Hypnosis. So you good people, let's get you into a very nice, pleasant, relaxed state and get you very still and centered. And this music that I'm going to play is music that was created by Russ Davey, who many of you will know is my partner in my company and helps me with a wide range of things, but he's also a very gifted musician, and he created this music. So big shout out to Russ. So you can just begin by allowing yourself to become very comfortable, taking a few slow deep breaths and closing your eyes. And just allow this time for yourself now. A time where there is no doing, nobody wanting anything. This is your time just to let go and to drift down into a very pleasant state of relaxation and to become aware of the present moment. And it's good to remember that meditation is not about controlling your thoughts or emotions. It's about changing your relationships with them and learning to see them from a new perspective. So just continue to allow yourself to become very comfortable and still. And breathe slowly and deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with each breath, I want you to infuse it with kindness and self-compassion. So just bring your attention to that. A feeling of kindness, love, and self-compassion as you breathe slowly and deeply. And as you do this, just gently observe any sensations that come to mind during each breath. Just allowing yourself to be very still and centered and in the present moment now, as the outside world fades more and more into the background. And now I want you to pay attention to any sensations around the top of your head. Gently scanning for any tension or tightness in your forehead and around your eyes and cheeks, lips and mouth. And now bring your awareness down to your jaw. Maybe noticing that it naturally loosens in the light of awareness, just becoming more relaxed, more present, more calm and more centered. Now guide your focus to your neck and your throat, noting any tension there, or any warmth or coolness. All the while feeling very still and present, always present as each second passes. Now draw your attention to your shoulders and your upper arms and shoulders and elbows, flowing down your forearms and to your hands, down to your fingers and thumbs. Always noting any sensations as you focus on your body. Now draw your attention to your chest, noticing how your chest and upper back expand and contract with each breath you take. Maybe each breath is slightly different. And you feel so good in this awareness, in this place, in the here and now. And as you focus your attention on your lower body, you become aware of the sound of the flowing water. That moves easily and effortlessly around any obstacles, just in an endless flow state. And as the saying goes, you can be like water in that flow state, moving through life, consistently and calmly, dealing with whatever comes along, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, with grace and strength. Now as you focus on your stomach area, maybe noticing how it changes with each breath. You feel a deep sense of peace. And you scan down to your thighs. And to your knees, all the way down your legs, to your shins and calf muscles, feeling so present and still and in the moment. Not needing or wanting anything now. Just being and observing. Observing all the way down to your feet and even the soles of your feet. Maybe you notice some sensations in your feet or your toes. As you draw your awareness there, And by connecting in this way to your physical, you can also connect to nature and the world around you. And connect with a feeling of oneness. So there is no separation, no duality. You are in everything, and everything is in you. The divine cosmos, energy flows through you freely and naturally. When you allow yourself the time to become so still and present. And you can bring your awareness now to your higher consciousness, the part of you that is connected to the Godhead, the divine. Where your wisdom and knowledge flow freely and naturally. Just be aware of this part of you now. Open and free-flowing. And maybe after this meditation, you will feel creative and inspired, or maybe find that you can problem solve. For now, just be in this flow state. Just very centered and still. Just be in the present. And allow knowing that this channel is open And just know that there's so much strength in being present as you move through life, facing changes and dilemmas. With balance and ease. And as things change, you always bring yourself back into the moment where you're rooted and anchored in yourself. Just be aware of that part of you that is still centered and strong. And know that whatever changes you face, whatever things come along, you are always anchored in this part of you, this wise, strong part of you that can always find solutions. This part of you that's always anchored in the present. This part of you that is connected to your higher consciousness, where you channel wisdom and knowledge and find solutions easily. Just be in that for a moment. Feel yourself anchoring this part of you strongly. And just know that you will always be able to draw upon this part of you, as it's always there, this infinitely powerful part of you that holds so much strength and wisdom. And you will always remember this moment. When you were in the heart of it. And this feeling will come back to you anytime you need it. And so in a few moments, I'm going to gently bring you back into a state of full waking consciousness, Still feeling very present and in the here and now, just refreshed and feeling creative and inspired. So as the music gently fades, you can maybe stretch your body and when you're ready, you can awaken. Feeling very present, very still, in the here and now, and feeling uplifted and refreshed with a sense of well-being all over. And when you're ready, just stretch your body and open your eyes and come back to full waking consciousness. So just open your eyes fully, take a few deep breaths and awaken, feeling refreshed and uplifted. And peaceful and calm, and all the things we get from letting go and being in a state of mindfulness meditation. So thank you, Megan. And it always takes me a little while to come back. I kind of get a little bit lost in the meditations myself when I do them live. I sort of trance out a little bit. And although with mindfulness, you're not going into deep trance states. You're kind of just getting anchored in the present moment. Whereas the normal meditations I deliver, I tend to take people into very deep states of meditation where they're completely out of their conscious mind. And so mindfulness is a little bit different to that. And Megan is saying, brightest light guiding us home, bonded and connected. Thank you for the safe passage. I love you, my home, my heart. Anchored and connected. Thank you, Glenn. See you all soon. Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. As always, Megan. Always the best medicine. Thank you. Mary saying fabulous. Thank you. Great way to ease into the weekend ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice to make a distinction between the week and the weekend, because especially for me, I work from home, so sometimes the days can, all seem a bit samey. So I kind of make a point at the weekends of really embracing it and switching off, not doing any work. I love what I do. I love my work, but weekends I don't do it. I'm present and focused with my family. That's the art of presence, isn't it? Especially when you've got a family and you've got a close family, being present with them. And I've got kids who are 8 and 10, 8, 10 and 37. It's a long story. But the 8 and 10-year-old, they know if I'm not present with them, they know. And I don't get away with anything. So I make sure at weekends I'm 100% present. And Spencer's saying, well, thank you, feeling good. Laurie, that was so wonderful, soothing and peaceful and restorative. Lovely to hear that. Peter, thank you so much. Hi, Glenn from Leslie. It missed the post that said it was alive today. Oh, what a shame. It went out on all the normal mailing lists. But great that you've made it here anyway. So, any questions you've got now? As you know, as my members know who are in Ultimate Hypnosis, I'm an open book and I will talk to people about anything. So, yeah, Ultimate Hypnosis is my main app. And we've got an amazing community in there. Leslie, Margaret, Megan, Kathy, Ray are all members. And yeah, I've got every recording that I've ever done, and also my live recordings all go into Ultimate Hypnosis, and the community in there is fantastic. It's a really thriving, supportive community, as you can see from the members who are here. And even to the point where I think half a dozen of those members are coming out to see me in a couple of weeks here on the Algarve in Portugal, which is absolutely wonderful. And it was kind of not my suggestion. They planned it themselves, and I was completely on board from the beginning, and they're coming out and we're going to hang out in person. And I've arranged a magical mystery tour for them because they're coming from Australia, the US, from the UK, flying in from all over the world. So I've arranged a real special treat, and I've been teasing them with it. I'm not telling them what it is because it's a surprise. It's a magical mystery tour, and when you get here on the full moon in a couple of Tuesdays' time, you'll find out. I wanted to make sure that when they were here, and that, you know, it's like when you travel and you go to new places, you take away some amazing memories. And I wanted to make sure that in the middle of the week that they come out, there's a really special memory for them. So that's all set up in a couple of weeks' time, and it's going to be very uplifting, very high vibe. And so, yeah. Kelly is saying, thank you. I listen to you almost every day, and you are my favourite. Lovely to hear that, Kelly. And Mark is with us. Hello, Mark, a fellow therapist and somebody I have a lot of respect for. We've never met, but I think we're kind of, from what I've seen, we're very much wired up the same way, and we see the world through similar eyes. And you seem like a really kind, compassionate fellow. So thank you for joining us, Mark. And who else have we got? Yeah, so Biggies is saying, I always have trouble relaxing my mind. Yeah, I think sometimes you've got to, just put yourself in a place where you're able to do that, able to switch off. Because the mind, if you allow it to control you, it will run 24/7 and drive you nuts. But the point of meditation and mindfulness is to take you into that space where you come out of the mind and you're in that still centered place, you're in your power. And that's something you work at. I often say that if you wanted to build a fit, healthy body, you go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, and over time your body tones and you look great. And the mind is the same. You have to work on it. You have to kind of use these techniques to master the mind and not let it control you. And the more you use meditation and mindfulness and hypnotherapy, the more you engage that part of you and the more you strengthen it. And so that, I find now, after 30 years of practicing hypnosis and meditation, I can be really, stressed about something, or something's really full on, something's, somebody drove into our fence today for about the 10th time. The camera out here in Spain have closed the road up outside, and we have these massive lorries going past our property, and somebody else, about 10 times we've had lorries driving into our fence, and you can imagine it's a little bit stressful, because a lot of the time they don't stop, they just carry on. Another one today, and I've felt a bit stressed, but I thought, I'm not going to let that ruin my day. So as soon as I felt the emotion coming out, I felt a bit angry, and then I just took the edge off it, and I anchored myself into a calm place. So I took control of my mind in that moment, took a few deep breaths, calmed myself down, and I felt okay, I felt great, and the rest of the day's been brilliant. Apart from that one little blip, the rest of it, I didn't let that moment destroy my day, because, why would you? It's pointless. It makes it 10 times worse if you do that. All right, I've got to pay for a new fence, but, I don't want to ruin my day as well. So you've got to take control of your thoughts. Use these techniques to come out of the mind, come out of the emotions you feel sometimes, and just get down into that still, anchored place. And yeah, it's something you just develop over time in the same way as you go to the gym and you build a great body. So where are we? So Maria is saying, so relaxing. You are the best. Thank you for everything. You are welcome. Thank you for your lovely comments. And Leslie's saying, it's me, not you, Glenn. Just had a very busy been missing the posts. I get it, Leslie. It's a busy world, busy life we live. There's so much going on these days, isn't there? And they say that we make more decisions in a week than our grandparents made in a year. And you can see that, can't you? You know, I think back to my grandparents, and they lived this really, you know, simple, steady, slow life, and never travelled, lived in London, and were kind of at peace with the life they were given, you know, and they didn't aspire to anything bigger because nobody really did back in those days. But there was a community, you know, a community of people that, you know, they were working class families, and they all had sort of the same. You know, nobody had more than anyone else. So there was a community spirit, and people pulled together a lot more in those days. So there was a peace in that, although it was simpler. And you can look at today, and we're living this amazing high-tech life that is so much faster and so much more full on. And, you know, sometimes it can be stressful. And, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I know some people look back at those times and they get very nostalgic, and they yearn for that simplicity. And you can understand it. You understand why people do, but you've got to kind of embrace the world that you're in. And there's that thing, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, I wouldn't want my kids growing up in a world like this, you know, the way it is. But you've always got to remember that your kids come into the world better equipped to deal with the time that they're growing up in than we would if we were, do you know what I mean? We were equipped to, you know, I was born in the early 60s, so I was equipped to deal with what life was then. And I've had to adjust as I've gone on, and, you know, and I do love, there's a lot of things I love about this age, you know, the digital age. I do kind of embrace it. I've got that kind of mind, but I try not to let it consume me as well. But kids who are growing up, who are being born now, will adapt to their environment. It's part of the evolution of our species. Even though the world is so different now to what my grandparents grew up in, kids now will adapt, and they'll thrive and prosper, even in this, you know, chaotic world with all these crazy politicians making bizarre decisions. They will navigate their way through it, and, you know, with the right skill set, they'll thrive and they'll shine. And so where are we? So yeah, lovely questions coming in. And Leslie's saying, Glenn's meditations help get me through some of the worst times. Thank you. You're welcome, Leslie. It's, you know, it's just a lovely thing to hear. I never tire of hearing that, because yeah, I make the recordings here with good intention, put them out, and they find people who need them. You know, it's that old thing, isn't it? That when you need that help, you put it out into the universe, and you find the things, or you find the right teacher, or you find the right course that is going to help you at that time. And it's, again, coming back to being present and being mindful. And, you know, when you're in that power, you often get guided through life. Your intuition's much stronger. So you make better decisions each day. You make wiser choices, and you find that the world is an easier place to live in. And yes, and Megan's saying going to be the most amazing adventure. So that's when you come out here to Portugal in a few weeks. And Margaret is flying out from Australia, and she's 81, bless her. She's making the trip on her own from Melbourne. I think she's stopping off in Dubai and then coming down here to Portugal. You know, what an adventurer. 81. Not many people do that on their own, a trip like that. But Margaret was determined to come out here and she's going to have an amazing adventure. And, it's memories, it's the things you do in life that stay with you. Memories and experiences are the things that live on. And, So, Laurie is saying, when trying to be or stay present. Yeah, so that must have been from a question before. And Megan is saying, meditation saves us. Every bit of the soul you can reach. You can reach any state of consciousness. It's incredible what we can do. Absolutely. And Iggy's is saying, how did I get interested in hypnosis? So I've told this story a few times on my webinars, but as you haven't heard it, I was a musician in my younger life. And at one point I ended up on the cabaret circuit in South London. And I was playing in a duo. And one night we shared the bill with a stage hypnotist. And I was watching this fella manipulate the audience and pull up certain people and getting them to do outrageous things on stage for entertainment purposes. And in that moment, it sparked my interest in hypnosis because I saw the power of it up close. And at that point, I kind of had I had a lot of trauma from my childhood and a lot of anxiety and low self-esteem. And I saw in that moment the power of hypnosis that could help me get over a lot of those, sabotage patterns, traumas, failure conditioning, that kind of thing. And it just was like one of those huge light bulb moments, real epiphany. And from there, I did a 2-year diploma in clinical hypnosis in London and loved it, absolutely loved it. And, I was using the techniques I was learning in the classroom to get myself over fears and phobias and that kind of thing. To the point where an example of that is when I was sitting in the classroom learning hypnosis, I used to feel stressed because my previous experiences of learning were at school. And I was not a good student at school. I got expelled when I was 15, kicked out of school, had very negative experiences in a very strict school in South London in the 70s. And so when I went to learn hypnosis, sitting in a classroom again, all those anxiety issues came up. But I'd learned self-hypnosis by then. So I used the self-hypnosis to reprogram my mind to learn to love sitting in the classroom and learning again. And it worked. It worked a treat. And I loved learning about hypnosis, did the diploma, passed, and went on to become a hypnotherapist. So I learned how you can get over these traumas and issues that were plaguing me from my past. And I've helped countless people do that ever since, because once I learned the basics of it, and once I became a hypnotherapist and started to see lots of clients, I was able to help them to get over the same kind of traumas. And I loved doing that. I had a real passion for it. And then when I started making recordings, I was infused with that love for helping people over problems, because I'd had so many in my younger life and I'd got over, a lot of them, and yes, figured out the way to do it. And I understood the connection between the conscious and the unconscious. So I just infused that in my recordings, and all the things that I've learned about healing and shamanism, Krishna consciousness, ayahuasca medicine that I've journeyed with, all of that became the knowledge I sort of gleaned from all of those things. I just infused my recordings with them, and had a real passion for, when I made the recordings, to think, these recordings are going to help people. That's what I wanted. I really put a lot of that into the recordings, and still do, whenever I make a new one. And Spencer is saying, do you know Richmond Park, as there is an area by Kingston Gate that really looks like the one of the landscape you describe, with steps going up a hill into a sacred place in a wide open area? No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Is that on one of the solfeggio recordings? Because I have had people that where I've done an induction on a recording, like into a garden, or like the one you just described, into going up steps into a hill, into a sacred place. People have then associated the recordings with places that they've known. And I even had a lady once who told me that she bought a house. She spent £1 million on a house in England. This was years ago as well. £1 million on this house, and it had steps going down into a sunken garden. And she was all excited. She said, it's just like the meditation that I've been doing I think it was which one was it? The guided meditation that's in my catalogue. That she said she used that recording regularly, and she bought the house, and it had this garden in it. You go down these 10 steps into this garden. So she kind of manifested this garden through the love of this particular recording. And, you can never put a limitation on what the mind is capable of. Everything in this universe is energy. So when you focus on something enough, you bring that energy into the 3D world, and you manifest things that are congruent with the beliefs that you're holding, and the resonance of your thoughts. And so that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Spencer. And Megan is saying, anchor the love in life with life. In love with life, go higher. Absolutely. Leslie's saying, time to move, Glenn. Get away from those fence destroyers. Absolutely. So yeah. And Leslie's also saying, my grandparents' biggest decision later in life was roast beef or roast chicken for Sunday dinner. That's it. That's exactly it, isn't it? And down the bookies Saturday afternoon. That was my granddad. I used to go down the bookies with him in South London, put our bets on, watch the horse racing. Like a different world, different life. That was like my past life. This life is completely different. Couldn't be any more different. But that was their whole life. That was the way they lived. And Peter's saying, meditation definitely helps creativity. Helped me write a short article, which has been published on another website this week. Not something I thought I could do before. That's it. You've got that talent, Peter. You've got that creativity for poetry, and you're writing. Go out there, go, expand that. If you want to expand it, go big with it. There's no limitation. So I'm not surprised at all. And just to bring it back to Ultimate Hypnosis. So for those of you who have not subscribed to Ultimate Hypnosis, you can download it via the QR code. Download the app, and there's a 20% discount. So there's a code that Russ will put up in a minute on the here that you can use to get a 20% discount off the annual fee. And within Ultimate Hypnosis, there's 260 now live and studio meditations and hypnotherapy tracks on every subject. I've got the solfeggio tones in there. I've got kind of covered every possible subject now. We rarely get people asking us for new titles on a certain theme, because they're pretty much covered now. Everyone, once in a while, when I got a certain amount of requests for a certain new title, I'd make the recording. And even now in Ultimate Hypnosis, we've got an AI feature in there that has proved a little bit controversial with some people, because some people are a bit wary of AI, and I completely understand that. But this AI program we've got in Ultimate Hypnosis allows you to write any script or give the AI algorithm any prompt, and it will deliver a spoken word meditation in a very warm voice. Not my voice. We're hoping for that as that develops. So once we've developed the AI feature, once my developers have developed it a bit more, we're going to introduce my voice. So you'll be able to program a meditation on any subject. If you've got any phobia, any fear, or you want a recording on any kind of subject, you type that prompt in and it will deliver a meditation to you. And that's a new feature in Ultimate Hypnosis, because my developers are really active and they're building the app's getting bigger and bigger. And we've also got this amazing community in there of, all the names I've mentioned on here, the members that come here regularly and do my bi-weekly webinars in the app. They're all here, and there's just such a great community where they support each other. If any one of them's struggling one week, they gather around and help and are so supportive. And they've had actual meetups in different parts of the world, one-to-one meetups, which has been, again, something we never planned. It's just sort of happened, and it's so nice to see it. And it's been wonderful. And so the community is another part of it. The app is growing, getting bigger. So if you'd like to experience it, click on the QR code there, download the app. You can sign up to it and you can use it free for a week. So you can try it out for 7 days and just see if it's right for you. There's loads of courses as well on there, and challenges. We've got a number of challenges on there, like a 21-day sleep challenge, an abundance course, sacred abundance course, I should add. So lots of different aspects to it. And it's growing really nicely, and I'd love to see you in there. And because I do these webinars, so every 2 weeks I do a live webinar for the members, not like this one that's wide open. It's just for members within Ultimate Hypnosis. And I tend to chat for a while and then do a meditation based on the feedback, things that have come up in the chat, and then that gets added to Ultimate Hypnosis. And then alternating with me, the members have their own webinar. So Megan hosts it, and just recently they've been reading from the Bhagavad Gita. So based on a webinar that I did a couple of months ago and a book that I recommended called A Walkthrough for Westerners, based on the Bhagavad Gita, they've been reading through the book and discussing it in a group setting, which is lovely and fantastic. And and on the next webinar, my son Lee joined them as well for the last members webinar, because Lee's very knowledgeable on the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna consciousness. So he joined them on a webinar, which was lovely. And for those of you who don't know, Lee's my oldest son, and he's a full-time hypnotherapist out here on the Algarve. So if you need any help one-to-one, Lee's your man. LeeHarold.com. And Leslie is saying, best value ever, with or without a discount. I listen twice a day and have done for 3 years. That's wonderful. I love hearing that, because Leslie lives in Israel and has had some pretty tough times out there in the recent times, with things that are going on out there. So it's amazing to hear that, you're meditating twice a day. That's fantastic. It keeps you in a sane and centered space, no doubt. And Laurie is saying, when trying to be present, besides focusing on the breath, are there any standard thoughts or phrases to think of to get out of non-productive, anxious thinking? It's kind of, a good little thought process you can bring in is when you're laying there and you're trying to clear away unwanted thoughts. Just imagine a blue sky. I'm looking at a blue sky now. I'm here on the Algarve, and it's a clear blue sky. But if you imagine little white clouds scattered throughout that sky, and each one of them represents thoughts that might be going through your head. And what to do, keep visualizing that sky and imagine those clouds just slowly dissipating and evaporating, so that in the end they all fade away and all you've got is this clear blue sky. And that is your mind and the thoughts that go through it. Just imagine them as your mind, those clouds and those thoughts. And if you do that, if you practice that a number of times, then you find that you calm your mind and those anxious thoughts just start to disappear. One thing I'll say, if it's kind of like if you have repetitive dreams and they're fearful dreams. If you've got something repetitive going on and you can't shake it, then it's more than likely something coming up from your unconscious mind that needs clearing. And, you know, because your unconscious mind is a great communicator, and through your dreams or through the thoughts that you have, it will tell you when there's something ready to be released or purged or cleared. So if something repetitive is coming up, I would then suggest seeking out, you know, therapy help. Maybe Lee could help you, you know, to release whatever that is that's, you know, coming up and holding you back. So, yeah, that's a good little technique for letting go. And so we're coming to the end now. We're just over the hour. And I can see that Megan is saying the members group meets in 2 weeks. We are reading the Bhagavad Gita and had a woman's circle too. So that's a new thing that they've introduced, a woman's circle for female empowerment and stepping into your divine feminine energy. So I love that, you know, and that's completely, you know, that was their idea, their suggestion. I'm more than happy to support that. And so, yeah, wonderful stuff. And this is all in Ultimate Hypnosis, my app that's just kind of got its own life. It's growing and growing, and we've got, yeah, you know, really creative developers who are working with us and building it. And yeah, so it's become my main app now. So Margaret's saying, good night from me, Glenn. Sleep time, see you soon. Yeah, sleep well, Margaret. Love and best wishes to you. And Laurie's saying, thank you, Glenn. And Laurie's saying, Leslie's saying to Laurie, if you have difficulty imagining, count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, several times to distract your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, that's another technique. It's kind of like the sheep. You know, you imagine sheep jumping over a fence. That's an old one. You know, it goes back to when I was a kid. But, you know, these things work. So you can try all of these things. You're just imagining a stop sign as well. That can sometimes help. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here and joining this meditation. And do download Ultimate Hypnosis and check it out completely free for 7 days. And I'd love to see you on a future webinar. And yeah, just to say thank you for all your lovely comments. And as Megan's saying there, Hare Krishna, Namaste.